I'll bring it back around to small businesses and what it may look like for the people that are using it for like social media and trying to do positioning. It used to be 7 to 12 touch points in order to be able to build awareness. It's lowered the entry level for everyone to feel like they're an expert. Every time you get on these platforms, I don't see people ask questions anymore unless it's a loaded question and they're trying to get you to respond so that they can talk about how they're an expert. And it's one of those things where that's turned it from 7 to 12 touch points to being more like 20 to 25 before someone can figure out, oh, I like you. And if we talk about the no like trust, that's at least 20 to 25 times people need to see your content to realize, oh, okay, so you actually do know what you're talking about. Like, it's not something that like I see 10 other people talking about and saying it the same way, just rephrased. And
Yeah.
that's why I'll joke and I'm like, okay, so use Chat GPT, use Claude, use this, use that, because I can tell to an extent when some of these things are put together. I use Chat GPT, but I use custom agents because I taught it what I wanted to know. And I've said, here's all the things that I need you to rule out. I know that you like to think this way, but we're going to be thinking this way. And if I notice when you give me a response that you're giving me your response and not my response, oh, we're starting from scratch because I need you to be able to think like I think. And I need to be able to make sure that you're giving me back the things that I need to be able to get so that I can take your suggestions and say, okay, well, now you've helped me rule out all of these other things. Now let's bring it down to what it's supposed to be. If you're talking about getting a business plan or a business model, it can fill in the blanks of the things that you don't know, but it
Exactly.
cannot tell you about your situation. It can't say, well, I'm kind of a screw up. And I've had a lot of business ideas over the years, and my family and friends, they're not really gonna believe that I got a really good business idea. Like, they're just gonna think it's just another one of those random ideas. You're not gonna tell AI that. You're gonna say, here's an idea I have. If it
Mhm.
doesn't know your history to be able to know that we need to validate this idea, we need to give you the shelf life and the runway for people to understand, okay, so you're saying it's gonna take you 6 months. At the end of 6 months, I'm gonna see what you really put together. That's
Mhm.
where strategists and stuff kick in because they can say, all right, well, we're going to give you a time frame and we're going to give you checklists and milestones to be able to help you show people throughout that whole period. Like, not only am I saying what I'm going to do, here's proof that I'm actually doing it. And here's why I'm doing it. It's not gathering that level of context. So
Mhm.
actual intelligence. Yes, ma'am.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Um, I know there's going to be some people like, you know what, boy, but you needed to be able to hear some of this because the level of people are like, "Oh, I don't need them. I can just go to AI." You can, and once it goes wrong, and you start to realize it didn't give you all the information in the context that you needed, and you have to come back, then it's there's 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 a story that I asked the guy. I said I'm actually going to pay you more money because I love the story so much that I'm telling you up front I'm going to use it. And it was I had a refrigerator that wasn't working right, and I brought him in, and he was like, "Okay, well, I looked at it. Here's my price." And I
Mhm.
said, "Well, how am I gonna pay you for something I don't even know that and you didn't even fix it yet?" His thing is, "Okay, this is my assessment of what it is, and here's what I think that you need to have done. This is how much it's gonna cost for me to get the parts and do all the rest of that, and then we'll see if everything works the way it's supposed to work." And, me being jaded, I'm going, "Well, I mean, sounds like you're pontificating, like you're guessing. Why would I want to pay you for a guess?" And it's saying, all right, so I've got two prices for you. I just gave you that first price. And I was like, two prices? Wait, hold on. I'm interested. What's the second price? He said, the second price is when you ignore what it is that I'm telling you, and you go to try to find a cheaper solution, and you go to find all these other ways to work around what it is that I'm telling you, and then mess it up. And then I have to come back to be able to fix the problem. So I'm going to charge you what I was going to charge you now. I'm going to charge you to be able to undo all the things that went wrong. Or when this goes even worse, I'm going to have to fix what went wrong because you didn't listen to me the first time. And my second price is going to be drastically higher than the first price. Oh, well, I mean, way to tell a story, bro. I'm going to give you your money now. And I'm going to pay you extra because that story is a story that I will tell for the rest of my life. Like, you need to know when you're talking to someone that's actually giving you the information, that cares about what it is that you're doing, that wants you to be able to solve the problem, as opposed to some of the coaches and gurus and people that are out there that are solving a problem that get you from one recurring payment to the next recurring payment to the next recurring payment. Like, there are some people that want to keep you on the hook, and there are some people that want to solve your problem.
Exactly. Very true.
Discernment is understanding who you're looking at. I'd rather solve your problem well enough so that you can fix that problem because I know there's going to be another problem. And when that next problem comes up, you'll know that I solve problems, not put a band aid on something so that I can keep you coming back and getting that recurring check. Go do what you're doing and come back. or go do what you're doing, and now I've got a story, a case study, a testimonial, all the rest of these things that I can use to be able to get something else, or I just create a brand champion that allows me to be able to get referrals. Why would I keep you on the hook when I can get you to go in the rooms that I'm not in and tell your story where somebody said, "Ooh, I like that." Yeah, go talk to Erica, go talk to Sean. So I think there's a lot of ways to be able to approach it. I wanted to have you on because I know that you've got a good heart. I know that you are solution orientated. You're not we're in it for the money, but we're not in it for the money. We're in it to solve the problem, and the money just happens to be part of the process. So I like being able to have people on that are that, because that's when you see it, then you start to notice it when you don't see it. And when you don't see it, then you know not to necessarily mess with that person. That should be a red flag. So I will bring it back around and get off of AI and
Okay.
the rant of this is why you need a strategist, and say we've covered a lot, but let's look at one thing. If someone is listening, realizes that they've been solving the wrong problems, what's the first thing that they should do differently?
Hire me. um, I yeah, find help, find a different perspective, right? Listen.
Okay. Okay. I know she laughed when she said it, but like, I mean, I'm gonna say it in a way that, it's less diplomatic. If you've been dealing with people that are just happy to take your money, but they're not necessarily looking to solve your problem, then that's someone that you're always gonna be paying. But if you find someone that is actually taking the time to learn your why, to understand your process, to help you get organized, to help you put a system in place, when someone gives you something that's templated, technically that gives you something that you can reuse throughout the rest of your days. If you want to learn how, you can just say, all right, well, this was how they set it up before. What's changed? And then apply what's changed to the thing that they already gave you. Do you know how good, not even good, you know how great you have to be able to do that and not worry about someone going, well, I mean, I got what I need, so I don't need to come back. That's not how business works. There's always going to be something that comes up. There's always going to be help that you need. The smarter people will get you on a retainer and not just have you solve the initial problem, but they want to have you there to be able to help them avoid the problems that may come up that they're not even aware of. So, yes, if you're looking for someone to be able to help you have an easier path, a smoother path. If you're on that tightrope and you realize you're high enough up where the consequences are steeper and you've got people relying on you and things like that, I would say talk to Erica, see if it's something that's a fit. I will bring it back to my word, readiness. Just make sure that you're ready and that you've got follow through. I'm not gonna sell my stuff because my stuff is what it is. I'm not for everybody. My thing is I'm not your cup of Lipton. Some people I am, some people I'm not. If you like someone that's just gonna be very honest and forthright, yes, I'm gonna be more forthright than diplomatic at times, because if I see you doing something and I say that's a hot stove and you continue to touch it, it hurts me to watch you hurt yourself. So at some point it's probably gonna be a little more tough love than, look at you. So I think Erica is gonna be a little more, "Aw, look at you," than I am. So, I like bringing people on that are a contrast to what I may do so that they have options, and I like to talk up the options and what makes those people great. I know what I know what I can do, but I think there are some people that will truly benefit from not just what you're able to do, but your thought process, the level of care that you put into things, and I will say, if we're talking about one thing, learn discernment. Learn how to just weed out the people that don't have the best of intentions, that have their own agenda, and learn some situational awareness. And situational awareness is just understanding what's making you make the decisions that you're making in your current situation. There are factors. Professional decisions affect our personal, and our personal affect our professional. So, if you're aware of these things and you know you have things in your personal life that are going on that may be making you make decisions in your business, ask yourself, is this a temporary thing or is this a long-term thing? If it's a temporary thing, then if you talk to a strategist, if you talk to Erica, if you talk to myself, we can show you how to put something in place to fix that temporarily so that when that situation goes away, then you can pivot back to something that's meant more long term. But if you're going to someone that's just going to tell you how to fix something, but not ask those follow up questions, someone that says all you have to do is instead of it depends, then you're going to get something where you may make a business decision long term that was only meant to be for short term.